Hey, Star Grind. Today on the show, we have with me my good friend Santwon McCray. He's three-time Cheerleading World Champion. He's a beast. He's what you consider a top-notch striving grinder. He's definitely going to get you motivated. He's definitely going to get you inspired. So, see you on the inside. Grind. Today we have with us World Cheerleading Champion Santwon McCray. He lives a lifestyle that so many of us only can dream of having or living. So, Santwon, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So, it's crazy. So you're about to be 25 in like the next couple of weeks, and I turn 25 next month. And we compare both of our resumes together. I got some catching up to do. So I got some work to put in. So let's start off by saying and letting our Star and Grind community know that you have numerous national championship titles as a competitor. You're an NCAA All-Star Grand National Champion, the NCAA Collegiate National Champion, Collegiate All-American, Individual International Champion, World Champion. You choreographed for nationally ranked collegiate and all-star teams as well as national champion Canadian teams. You judged the BCA National Championship in Telford, England, and for the past 3 years have judged the Cheer Nationals in Malaysia. You you were a co-head instructor for the Skills camp in Malaysia, and you were named one of the most influential cheerleaders by American Cheerleader magazine. So that's pretty boss, man, for the age of 25. So my question for you is, one, how did you do it? Two, talk to us a little bit about the grind, the mentality, the work ethic, all of that to pretty much put you in this situation that you're in right now.
I think one of the things that kind of pushed me a little bit quicker than most was I started rather late. Most of the boys my age, or around that time when I began, they've already been doing it. Like I started when I was 16, and at that point, some of them had been doing it for 4 to 5 years. So I kind of had to like tug on some shirts and be like, "Hey, can you help me outside of practice? Can you come in early before practice to help me?" And it was kind of like I've always been an athlete. Before that, I played baseball for 10 years, and I've always been involved in some sort of sports and activities in school. So I didn't want to be that person and kind of not be good enough. And it was the fear of not being good enough to help me push myself. And once I learned the fundamentals of that sport, I could kind of come in on my own and critique myself to where I didn't have to bother anybody else. So I could stay late and come early, and it just kept going. And I guess one day I was just in the right place at the right time, and I won a title, the individual international title, and I got to go to England for that. And being there, it just kept adding on and adding on. This woman was like, "I want you to come with me to Malaysia and start doing these performances, start judging these kids." And while I was there, I did TV interviews, radio station interviews,
Wow.
newspaper interviews, and it was just really cool to see different styles of cheerleading, to see how people how they view us in America, and they as the pioneers of cheerleading, how they look up to us. I think it's very, very cool.
So let's go back to like the grind. Like talk to us. Recently you made Team USA, right? And the World Championship is in late April. So congrats to you for that.
Thank
So
you.
talk to us a little bit. Like how are you currently preparing yourself for that? Like walk us through like a typical day of training and preparation and all that kind of stuff.
I've been trying to really, really improve on my health. So Mickey D's it used to be my best friend, but clearly that's out of the out of the question.
Uh oh.
So I've been trying to change my health habits a little bit, and then also I try to do as much strength and conditioning outside of practice. And since I'm technically retired, but I still go into the gym and coach all my kids. And after they're done with their practices, I stay for a few hours after, and I try to stretch out and keep my endurance up with the tumbling. And then I'll call my stunt partner up. Her name's Chelsea, and we've been stunting together for about 3+ years now. So we just try to get a little bit of hard work in, about a good hour working out. And then when I get home, I'll eat a few more times before I go to bed, and I also stretch and do a little bit of stuff, and trying to stay as healthy and as active as possible, especially not being on a team right now. I think that's one of the things that's kind of making me a little nervous is having being on a team like that, that automatically gets me some kind of workout. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
always has me being active and doing something, but not being on a team and just coaching, my body's less active. It's doing a lot less stuff. So I got to put in a little extra work. And I even got myself a few gym memberships. I'm trying CrossFit. I'm going to Planet
Okay.
Fitness. I'm trying to do a bunch of different things at one time to keep me going. Because if I sit at home and I sit on the couch thinking about all the stuff that I want to do and I don't put in any work for it, it'll just stay that way. It'll stay a dream. It'll stay on my to-do list versus me getting up and kind of, like you said, grinding and really getting a little bit of work in. So trying to stay active that way. And then I try not to go out as much.
Okay.
As much as we go out and we want to party and we want to drink and, can I say that? I don't know if I'm honest.
Yeah, man, you're good.
Okay. I try to party less, and my friends don't like that, and they don't like that I don't drink as much, but I feel great. Like, I wake up earlier every day.
There you go.
I wake up before 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? My body feels great. I feel like I'm keeping myself in a position of success. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I did just sprain muscle in my foot, but it's healing faster than normal, and I've only have 2 weeks of not tumbling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still going to be able to get up, go work out, and do things. So I really like that. I don't have to wait for 6 weeks because I don't have 6 weeks to kind of take off. So
Right. So, like, going back to like the team. So, what was like your first big break? So, for that person who wants to be able to be in your shoes where you're at right now, can you talk a little bit about like where you started personally, and then as you started diving into like the teams and stuff?
I started at a gym called Fame All Stars in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and to the normal person, they have no idea what that is. And it's just an all-star gym, and the way it works with all-star, it's not bound by school. It's just if you're willing to drive and be a part of that organization, so be it. And there are, in any community of sports, there's those teams that people idolize, the teams that people talk about all the time. And it's this team in Miami, Florida called Top Gun All Stars, and I was completely not thinking that was ever going to happen, but again, just the right place, the right time. I was talking to my friend, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I feel like I come to a stopping point. Like, I've graduated high school. I haven't done anything with cheerleading yet. And he was like, you know what? Let me make a call. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, I don't think I can just go. He's like, but that's the whole point of it, Santwon. Like, if you want to do something, you just go. And not even like 2 weeks later, I'm in my car driving to Miami, Florida, and I ended up having one of the highest scores in All-Star history for this competition in Dallas. And then I ended up winning my first world championship. And with that, I got offers from the biggest, like, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's the biggest company in cheerleading. I got an offer for them to be a choreographer. And that, I worked for 2 months in the summer, and it literally pays me salary the whole year. You know what I'm saying? So I get to do whatever else I want. And I think that's the coolest thing ever, to be able to put in a little bit of mental work in the summer, because it's not physical. It's just me making stuff up in my mind for these kids, these routines. And I get to be paid for it throughout the entire year. So I think that's really cool.
That's
But
epic.
yeah, so definitely being on Top Gun, it opened up so many doors, and I'm forever grateful.
That's epic, man. So, obviously, I guess you can say that having those relationships with somebody else can definitely open doors for you. Because if it wasn't for that person, you kind of...
I'd be stuck.
Right. So that's good, man. That's really good. So, as you can see, you're flashing the bling a little bit. Do you hold a record in all the rings? Like, how many rings do you have?
These are some of my favorite rings. The ones that look a little more circular and are as flashy, these are the World Championship rings you get when you win. And it's pretty cool. The only thing that changed, they're very, very similar. The only thing that changes is the year on that one. But they stay the same for the most part. It has an emerald on the top, and on the other side it says World Champion. So when people want to know what you are, it's just right there.
Let them know, right?
Yeah.
So how many do you have?
I have 7 on my fingers. But if I was to have every ring for every major championship I've won, I think I would have about 16.
Jeez. That's what's up, man. Good job. Congrats. I have to say it
Thank you very
again.
much.
So, what is something that you see most cheerleaders lacking when it comes to, being successful in the aspect of, cheerleading as a sport?
Self-motivation. Definitely self-motivation. A lot of them feel like when they see someone who's exceptional or extremely talented and they idolize them in a sense, they they feel like, I feel like a lot of people look at them and think they just woke up like that. Like it doesn't just happen, you know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of work. And I feel like some people, when they want to do something, they're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this person. I'm going to do this. And they put in the work for maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks. And then they don't immediately see results. So they kind of give up. It's a gradual thing.
And I think that goes like in like all aspects of life. Like you name it, like fitness, entrepreneurs, people who go to school and want to get this good job coming out. A lot of people say, "Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that," but they really don't stick to it. So fitness, that's near and dear to my heart at least. And New Year's resolutions, for instance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm about to start working out, right? And then you're good for that first month, even maybe the second month. Oh, they thought it was going to happen overnight, and then boom, they just stopped doing it. So I think perseverance, consistency, I guess is pretty much key.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know if I saw you out there tumbling and I was out there about to compete, I'd be like, let me think about this one.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So, were there any A-list cheerleaders that you met, or even gymnasts?
Um, when I first started, I met some people. To me, when I looked it up on YouTube, and I would always follow them to their competitions, like I met some people to me that I thought were just unrealistic. Like I'm like, you don't actually exist. You're just a figment of my imagination. I can't believe I'm standing in front of you. Like just having that kind of fangirl moment.
Yeah.
And one of them, his name is Kenneth St. John, and I think he's one of the best performers on the planet, period. And then also this other guy, his name is Demort Garrett, and to me, he is unreal. Like he's great at everything. He's good all around, and he represents the person that I've always wanted to become. And so I try to model everything I do after him.
Nice.
And then I also met Shawn Johnson, and she told me that what I did, she was like, your jumps are amazing, your tumbling's beautiful. And to me, a world champion gymnast, I'm like, oh, well, okay. Like it's how do you even take that from somebody like that? So I really felt like a lot of my hard work has been and still is paying off to this day.
Nice. Great answer. Great answer. So speaking of like your hard work paying off, let's talk about that moment where you became world champion. Like, describe that moment. I'm sure everybody was screaming your name and.
I don't know what to say. It's something that you see it, you feel it, like it surrounds you. It really does, and like you just gotta breathe and take a second. Like after you're done completely like screaming your head off, you're just like, I have become one of the best, in a sense, a master of my craft. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that motivated me to be like, I want that like 5 minutes of just, oh my God, it's like crack. You're like, I want that 5 minutes again of just like everybody in the world, like everybody in the arena, the 10,000 people in the arena, the like 200,000 people like looking at it online because they're in different countries. Like a lot of people can't just come, you know what I'm saying? Like to know that everybody is looking at you for that split second in your sport and completely praising you and looking at you. And even if they're not praising you, if they're negative and they're just like kind of bitter about it. I mean, either way, you're the focus of their attention for that couple minutes and, during the award ceremony. And when you get like these trophies that we get are these like 3 foot tall, like heavy trophies with this ivory globe on top of it. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And it's great. And that's why I always kind of push myself to kind of get it again the next year and again and again and again. And every time it gets better.
You're blessed for sure. So Was it only one time?
Three.
World champion 3 times?
Yes. Yes.
Wow, I should have said that up front.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to win 3 world titles. Oh my gosh, and hopefully this will be my 4th.
Let's do it, man.
We'll see how that goes.
That is epic, yo. Like,
thank you.
3 times. So what's the world record?
I think our gym holds the cleanest record. There's gyms. Fun fact of the day is the University of Louisville. Most of the major gyms around this country, like first of all, the U.S. is the powerhouse of cheerleading, but specifically Kentucky, the University of Kentucky and the University of Louisville. The best places, like the best all-star programs and the best collegiate programs, their coaches and their owners and their founders, all of them came from the University of Louisville.
Oh, wow.
So, like, that's something we pride ourselves on, and we're one of three. Programs in the nation that can say if you come to the university for 4 years, you are promised that you will leave a national champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's
cool.
one of the cool things I really, really liked about it. So yeah.
That's cool. So, what would you consider like some of your biggest failures, or maybe the biggest challenge that you had to actually overcome to make you so successful, like where you are today?
I think a mental block I recently just got over. It was actually this time last year when I was trying out for Team USA, because I've never been able to try out for Team USA at full physical or mental health. First time I tried out for Team USA, I had a lower back problem, so I couldn't tumble to the best of my ability. And although they know who I am, they have to be fair. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time, which was this time last year, I could not tumble. I could not do the skills that made me world champ Santwon. You know what I'm saying? That made people idolize me. And to me, that made me feel like a failure. But, you know what I'm saying? After I got over it, I looked back at it and I was like, that's not failing. You know what I'm saying? That's an experience that I feel needed to happen so that I could appreciate what I have more. I can appreciate things I'm able to do a lot more and take them and not take them for granted, you know. So I never consider anything I go through a failure. I consider it another way of helping me mold myself into a better person. And that mental block was the hardest thing. I would sit in front of my team, and being a captain of a team of some of the best athletes in the sport, like, it's hard to stand in front of them like without your skills, because you feel like you've lost the power to lead them and be an example for them. So it was very hard to get through. And I mean, I would cry in front of them every practice, and because I wasn't even in the routine. I was taken out until I could do things. And I had this amazing woman named Debbie Love help me. And once I got over it, it was game time. It took me about 2 weeks to get over it. Like, once I started to tumble again, because I couldn't tumble for like about 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And that 2 weeks, the first time I turned a flip, like, something turned on in my mind, and I was like, all right, it's game time. So every day, all day, I would constantly come in and do a little bit more, you know, than I did previously the day before. So I just didn't stop, and I couldn't. Like, I knew it. If I took 1 second to relax, if I let up for 1 second and sat down and was like, all right, everything's okay, it would have not been okay.
That's that grind, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, I guess, what advice would you give our striving grinders out there who are just looking for tips, advice for being successful? Like, what characteristics, what mindsets, like, what do you think attribute to your success?
Constantly surrounding myself with the people that I wanted to be like. Like, if my mom always told me, you're either going to be around pretty people or successful people. You're either going to end up pretty or successful.
And you did
or
both,
pretty
right?
Successful.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's something I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about, Mom, but okay, I'm going to go for it. And I always try to be around those people that I wanted to be like, because you are who you hang out with. You are the things you do. You know what I'm saying? So if you're with these people who own businesses, if you're with these people who manage their money well and they manage their time well, they don't sit on their ass all day. They get up, they go, You know what I'm saying? They're constantly doing something, and they're not sitting in this one accomplishment, and they're not like praising themselves or being praised for the one thing they did, and they're constantly looking back at it like, hey, I did this. Okay, that's cool. You did it. What are you doing next? They're constantly thinking, okay, I have this coming up, but I need to think past it. So if you're constantly ahead of yourself, getting up every day, thinking about what you're going to do next, then you know what I'm saying? Like you're always going to better yourself. And I think that's something that I can definitely tell everybody who follows this website, everybody who's into this, is just constantly surround yourself with that aura, that being, that vibe, that feeling, everything about it. Just constantly put those people around you. And then if you have nobody, be the person you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit down at home and say, well, I want to be this. Get up and do it. It's not hard. You just have to do it. And if you don't have the financial means, if you don't have the resources, break it down. There's nothing that's too hard. Break it down. If you don't have the money, okay, in 6 months, I'm going to start to do this. But if I don't have the money 6 months from now, I'm going to get the job now so I can save up. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. It's really not hard. So it's just a matter of breaking things down and making big situations small steps.
For sure. And that's what it's about too, man. Just taking action. I think taking action is probably one of the biggest things that people take for granted. Like a lot of people they complain about their situation in life. They say they want to be somewhere. They have this targeted goal or end result that they want to be at. But at the end of the day, they're not really taking action to really get them to, where they want to be. So
Right.
I like that you mentioned that. And talking, a little bit about, you were saying that you were kind of retired. So where can we see, like, in the future from Santwon? World champ 3 times. What do you have in the future?
I'm moving to Los Angeles in June. Because I went out there to work with an extremely like idolized. Like to me, I have 2 people I look up to besides God, but like Beyonce, no, like don't even get me started. Like that's it. Beyonce, and then this guy named Todrick Hall. And I think he is one of the most talented all-around individuals. Like the guy's attractive. He's a great personality. He can sing. He can dance. He can act. And I went out there to just to see how he lives, and being out there, constantly getting up every day and seeing how he lives his life. And he says, I want to do this. So let's set it up for tomorrow and let's go ahead and do it. Like the fact that he had a mentality that you can't tell me that's not going to be able to be done within 12 hours. That blew me away. You know what I'm saying? In Kentucky, that's just not how we work. We go very slow and we plan things weeks out. He does everything the day before and says, all right, let's get it. And the next day, all this stuff just magically appears. There's people, there's lights, there's so much stuff going on. And I think that's really cool. So I went out there and worked with him. And I actually was in 3 of the videos that we shot. We shot 4, but I was in 3 of them. And one of them just came out. It was pretty cool.
I did see that.
And then a few other things. This thing of mine called Infinity Legends, I just came out with that on YouTube. And just those 2 people really I look up to a lot because of how they do things. And I really, really, really one day want to end up in the entertainment industry. So I'm going to start from square one. I'm going to start being as a nobody. I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to learn and surround myself with the people I want to be around and constantly get up every day and be on my grind. And hopefully one day you'll see me like in movie theaters, on TV, like who knows?
Hey man, salute, because I don't doubt that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Because obviously, you said I wanted to be the best cheerleader, and you mastered the game within several years. So I'm sure, and we're still young as I don't know what too, man. We're only 25, so like the sky's the limit, So
Absolutely.
yeah. We're gonna end up in a little bit. So, lastly, this is a question that we ask all our guests. So, what does strive and grind mean to you, and how do you apply it to your everyday life?
Strive and grind to me means truly putting in the work, like being about what you say. Like that's pretty much it. You got to be about it. Like a lot of people talk, but very few people back it up with action. And those people are the superstars, are the business owners, are the people who make stuff happen. that it is what it is. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Self-explanatory, right?
yeah.
So where can we find you on the internet? Social media?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Facebook, my name is World Champ Santwon. On Twitter, you can search World Champ Santwon, but Black Jesus will come up. I mean, I didn't give myself that name. Contrary to popular belief. And then also on Instagram, GT Black Jesus. I swear to God, I didn't give myself that name. And then also Vine, you can search World Champ Santwon there, and that's for some reason, I guess a lot of people have realized that I'm kind of funny, but I won't admit it.
I
won't tell people I'm funny, but a lot of people have started to like look into it, and they like what I have to offer.
And how many followers do you have on Vine?
165,000.
Beast, man. You're beasting all over the place. So all of that we're gonna put on the show notes too. So that will be a link for everybody to go check you out. So
sweet.
Yeah, right, man. So once again, I really want to thank you for coming out. Like, we really appreciate it, and salute.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching the interview. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. I hope you came out motivated. I hope you came out inspired. So have a great day. Take action. Keep striving. Keep grinding. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the website. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.